Hello and welcome back to another video. So, yes, the title, The Joy of Gaming. So, I've talked before about my mental health struggles, not in depth, because I don't feel the need to bore people. I don't feel the need to waste your time with all the ins and outs of what goes on in my head. But needless to say, for the last 6 months now, 6 months, I've actually been in some quite intensive therapy, weekly, which is nice. And I think I've turned a bit of a corner. I'm trying very hard to be nicer to myself, and something seems to have just sort of clicked for the first time ever, where I don't hate who I am. Which is good. It's great. It's fantastic. And I'm now on a bit of a journey where I'm trying to... It's very therapy talk, that. I'm on a journey. I'm now on a bit of a journey where I'm trying to rekindle some joy. Finding joy in my life, be it through activities, be it through trying to find something I want to do with my life, which I'm pretty on track to do. I just sort of need to finalise some details, and then I will be potentially talking about that, but we will see. And in gaming in particular. So I've said before, gaming has been a crutch emotionally. I'm still trying to get into... I am in the habit now of not spending over my £200 a month limit. In fact, I'm lucky... Yeah, it's always on... It has been under. Last month in May wasn't. May I spent quite a lot of money, which is fine. And then I got a bonus from work, which went on things like pre-ordering the new module for the Polymega, paying my wife for Chibi Robo, and buying Mario Kart World as well, and paying off my PayPal credit, which is good. But in that time, I sat through what was essentially E3 this year. I sat through all the game trailers, and I was like, none of these. There were 3 games. 3. There were 3 games that were announced as new that I went, yeah, okay, brilliant. 3. 15 years ago, it was 1 a month, maybe 2. We're now long past that point. A lot of my particular tastes in gaming aren't really catered to, which is fine. Things change. But at the same time, there's business practices I don't agree with. There's... I haven't bought into a live service ever. And I never will. Because I think they are a cancer on gaming. And they need to fuck off and die. As do microtransactions. I think they both need to fuck off and die. And what I'm kind of hoping we're seeing is a bit of a resurgence in... kind of the... Actually, let me just grab it. It's all the B games again. I did talk about Atomfall sort of at the tail end of last week, but sort of the B titles, the stuff that's not ludicrously high budget, that's not ludicrously low budget, that's not retro inspired platformers all the fucking time, that are just there and good and well constructed. And Atomfall is a very well-constructed game that's interesting, and it does this fascinating thing where it doesn't give you fucking quest markers. It just goes, hey, here's the landmarks, go find it, which is awesome. It sort of falls apart towards the end, but whatever. And for me, the 3 games were a sequel of sorts to a game that was a big part of my childhood, not childhood, but certainly my late teen years, early 20s, a game that I've got a very soft spot for, based off of probably my favourite modern film, which is Scott Pilgrim EX. I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. And it's going to be just as fucking relentlessly hard as the first game was, and that's fine. That's okay. I just want it to be solid. And it'd be nice if we could play as all the evil X's, but never mind. The other one was Double Fine's new game, which is unfortunately stuck on Xbox. Whose name escapes me, but he plays a sentient lighthouse, which is insane and weird and just the right kind of crap that I like to see from that company. You know my love of Brutal Legend. I really like Psychonauts. I'm a big fan of Costume Quest 1 and 2. I loved Iron Brigade. Stacking is awesome. I played a little bit of Massive Chalice. It wasn't great. There's a few bits and pieces. There's a lot of stuff that Double Fine has done that I actually really, really like. But there's also a lot of stuff they've done that I don't like. So it's kind of a mixed bag with that company. But this seems right up my alley. And I will never, ever, 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 ever fault them for doing weird crap. And that weird crap being good. I just wish that their games were released on platforms that aren't fucking shit. Like the Series X or Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass can die in a hole. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the Netflix model of gaming, because the Netflix model of TV is starting to fall apart. So it'll be the same. And then they'll be like, nobody's buying our platform, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have to jack the prices up. Oh, we've jacked the prices up. Oh, nobody's coming. Oh, people are subscribing here and there rather than subscribing to... Yeah. So the third game is being published by Panic. Now, Panic have been a very key focal point for me, sort of revitalising joy into gaming. They announced a couple of weeks ago that they're doing a physical release of Thank Goodness You're Here, which, thank goodness, it's here. I'm buying that, and I have. And my wife has been nice enough to get it for me for Christmas, because it should be out later this year. And I fucking love that game. I do, period. It's funny. It's probably the most Northern English thing I've ever played. It's probably the most Northern thing I've ever played, and it's brilliant. It's so good. It's just the right level of British humour, which is weird and surreal and kind of depressing. And I had joy. There was joy with that game. There was joy in that game. The third game that was announced sort of this sort of period, and something that I've felt nothing but excitement about, is Big Walk. So Big Walk is a sort of open world walking simulator where you and friends, sort of looking like sort of abstract birds, walk around and talk your way through puzzles, talk to each other to get puzzles done. And you can wander off in different directions, you can get completely lost, you can just chill, you can be a dick, you can kick their radio into the sea, for example. It's just... Something struck me about that game. So it's by a company called House. They're fairly well known for Untitled Goose Game. I'm really genuinely hoping that Big Walk comes out on Switch, or Switch 2. Preferably Switch. If it had like a Switch port next year, I will buy it. If I could play it with my wife, even better. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm a little tentative because it might be multiplayer only. I don't play multiplayer only games. I just don't. It has to have some kind of offline mode for me to be even tangentially interested. It's like with Concord last year. Where they went, hey, here's this sort of Guardians of the Galaxy inspired shooter thing, and I watched the trailer and I went, it could be interesting. Second the guy came online and went, it's a 5v5 PvP shooter, and I went, lost all interest. Absolutely lost all interest. It's the same with Bungie released Destiny. And that's kind of the sad thing about it. You have some of these companies like Bungie who I used to be fanatical about. I used to love Halo. I still love Halo. I still love Halo. Let's be fair. I still love Halo. I even like Halo 4. I like Halo 5 to a degree. It's Halo Infinite that sort of killed my interest in it for a few years. But for me, a lot of what made gaming special has died off, has been replaced, has been butchered. A big part of what Nintendo are doing at the moment I don't necessarily agree with, like jacking up the prices to ridiculous amounts, like Mario Kart. Well, Mario Kart World's not worth 75 quid, but it's about finding that joy again. And Big Walk looks fantastic because it's simple. It's a simple game that I could probably get lost in for hours. And a big part of, again, Panic is this. It's the play date. I have not been this engrossed in a console in years. In years. I just haven't. You know? Actually, not since the Wii U, which is a big deal. Now, I really like the Atari VCS. I'm a big fan of the Polymega. This, though, I love. I love it. It from all of its weird little games. I mean, hell, I can just sit there for... It eats my time. It eats my time. It devours it because it's small and it's simple and I can fit that in a pocket extremely easily. It just fits in the pocket because it's no bigger than the palm of my hand. And that's a big part of it. I mean, hell, when you turn on... Let me see if I can... There we go. He's like, oh. No. That. It's little details like that with this thing and with a lot of the stuff that Panic does that have kind of... I'll be honest with you, it's this. It's the Playdate that sort of cemented my interest in them as a company. I wasn't a huge fan of Entitled Goose Game. My wife really liked it. And we've played a bit of it together. Mostly running around being an arsehole because you're a goose. And that's been fun. But I haven't had experiences like that in gaming for such a long time. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so cool. I'm really excited about it. Playdate, I am. Big Walk, I am. Thank goodness you're here. Things like that. Stuff they've made. Stuff they've released. I just really finding joy in. And that's so important, especially when you've got X amount of mental health problems and you're trying to revitalise who you are as a person, is finding joy in things. And the Playdate is something I'm just really engaged with. I will be doing a full review on this thing next week, where I will spend maybe 20 minutes absolutely gushing about it. It's currently my favourite thing I own, which is saying something. Because I got a lot of stuff. But at the moment, of all the consoles I got, this is the one I'm having the most fun with. Even over the Switch too. I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there who are like, oh my god, it's really good. But for me, it comes to something like the Playdate, where a lot of the games are weird and quirky and stupid. There's a game called Long Dog. There's a game called Root Bear. I love Root Bear because it's just about pouring root beer for bears. That's all that game is about. And it's fantastic. It's genuinely so much fun. It really, really is so much fun. And that's what it is. That's it. That's the crux of joy in gaming. It's fun. It has to be fun. 90% of the time I'm bored. I'm bored. Like, Cyberpunk. I go through periods of, yeah, this is really cool. But other times I'm like, God, I'm bored. I'm bored because I'm driving around an open world. Whoop-de-doo. Or there's a million police again and it's impossible to get them to lower the fucking police rating unless you run away. And even that takes like 10,000 years. Little annoyances that, especially when you do have what I have, or the list of things that I have, makes those little annoyances really build up. You just want something that's quiet and simple. You know what? There was a game earlier this year called Wonder Stop, and Wonder Stop is by Davey Reedon. I'm a big lover of the 3 games of his I've played. So Stanley Parable 1, Stanley Parable 2, and The Beginner's Guide. Because they are all emotionally crippling in their own way. So in the case of the first Stanley Parable, it's this metaphysical context. It's creating what's essentially a masterpiece. It was viewed as a masterpiece. It was viewed as like one of the best commentaries on video games of all time. The second one goes, right, we could just expand it with a bunch of funny endings and it would be nothing more than that. But instead they went, how do you follow up how do you create a sequel to a game like the Stanley Parable? That's the point of Ultra Deluxe or Stanley Parable 2, whatever you want to call it, is that. It's that crux. It's that argument of how do you follow on a masterpiece of gaming. Beginner's Guide has a similar gut punch right in the stomach right at the end. It hits you hard. So when I bought Wonder Stop, I was like, okay, here's a cozy game. A game that can let you be bored. You can be bored of it. I got bored of it. And that's part of the point. But I didn't get what that game was about, which is when you're someone like me, who keeps getting back up despite the, I'm not going to say trauma because that sounds too dramatic, but despite the depression, despite the various other things that I might have, or do have, sorry, despite that knocking me down time and time and time and time and time again, I always get back up, and that's not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing. It's something that wears you down, but you can't stop, not even for 1 minute. You can't just go, fuck it, fuck all of it, fuck all of you, fuck all of them, fuck everything, I'm going, I'm done, right? It won't let you. And increasingly over the last couple of months, I've sort of seen that side of myself, and I've seen that aspect that drowns out joy. If you get back up again, it doesn't make life easier, it makes it harder. It makes it so much harder. You do have to get back up again, but you have to want to. You have to want to get back up. You can't just listen to that voice all the time. You can't listen to the one that's going, get back up. It's knocked you down, get back up. You have to listen to the one that's going, it's okay, take your time, and then we can try again. And that's the balance. It's the one that says, get back up, keep going, drive yourself into the ground over and over and over and over and over again. That's kind of made me less and less tolerant of incompetency, idiots, irritations, very minor things with both games and people where it's just relentless. Like, I won't go into details, but in certain situations throughout my day, it's a case of, bloody hell, why was this not done? Why has this not been done? Or it could be a case of, oh, I haven't done this, blah, 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 blah. And it's those little moments that wear you down, because you're sat here going, if I can do this, if I can keep pushing myself, if I'm doing that, why isn't everybody else doing it? Why do I have to be the only one to do it? Why? And the point of this whole video is, at the end of the day, I didn't get joy in gaming anymore because of that voice. It was, get through it, get through the game, keep doing this, keep doing that, blah, 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 buy more and more and more and more. And I'm thinking of going on a detox, sort of, next month. I've got 2 games planned that I want to get. That's the new Robocop, because it looks like fun. which is the crux of it. And the new Donkey Kong, because it looks like fun, which is the crux of it. That really is the crux of this whole thing, is it has to be fun. If you're not having fun doing something, it's not worth doing, you know? It's not worth wasting your time with video games, or it's not worth wasting your time with day-to-day activities, or work, if you hate it. It's a waste of your time when you could be doing anything else, literally anything else. And that's a big part of what has sort of wound me down. I mean, my favourite game of the year so far is Plucky Squire. I mean, I love that game because it's about joy. It's about getting a good story. It's about having a good experience. There are certain times I'm like, fucking hell, come on. But the fact that you can skip 90% of the very annoying mini games is great. It just goes, hey, look, this isn't a rushed, busy ass, pain in the ass experience that you're just going to fucking loathe. It's supposed to be fun, and it takes that and runs with it. And like, this came with an art book. I think it came with a CD, which is cool. This has been flat out period, my favourite game of the year so far. Brand new. Favourite brand new game of the year that I have played is Plucky fucking Squire. Bearing in mind, I haven't bought that many brand new games. I bought Atomfall, I bought Split Fiction, Mario Kart World, Cyberpunk. Is that it? That might be it. That might be it. But maybe that's the point. I'm sort of winding down from buying new games, and I'm trying to find joy in things. But yeah, my point is, you have to do what you want to do, and you have to do what you want to do. Oops. The chain might be breaking. That's a good sign. You have to do what you want to do all the time. You have to put yourself first in a lot of situations, because if you don't, you'll be miserable, and if you're miserable, you're just going to grind everyone around you down as well. And at the end of the day, you have to be happy for your sake, not for other people. And that's a big part of why I'm looking into... That's what I didn't get about Wonder Stop. I didn't get that it was a game about slowing down. It was a game about stopping that fucking voice in your head. It's about taking a break. Going, you know what? Fuck all of you. Stepping away. Giving up. Essentially. Giving up something is extremely hard. Especially when it's all the time. Going, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this living situation. I'm done with this relationship. I'm done with this job. I'm done with this game. Not that I'm walking away from any of that. It's just, I'm done with this in general. I'm done with this situation. I'm going to walk away and look after myself for a bit. And that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping back from pushing myself relentlessly in my day-to-day stuff, because there's no point. There's no point. There's no point. It's making me ill. Fuck off. I'm stepping back in games. I'm not buying as many new things, because half of it's shit. Half of it doesn't cater to my taste, and the other half of it's miserable. Miserable practices. So the Playdate has been a shining beacon, as it has Big Walk, as has Wonder Stop, as has, thank goodness you're here. All of it has just been the icing on the cake. And yeah, sometimes you just need to eat a massive glob of icing before you can go back to eating the bland bit. But yeah, that's it. I'm finding joy where I can. I hope you're finding joy where you can. Buy a Playdate. They are so fucking worth it. And you'll hear me rant about the Playdate for like 20 minutes next week, I can guarantee you. But until then, have a good day. Have a good week, and I will see you next time.